Hello students, welcome once again in unit number 11, the P block elements, standard 11th. Today our lecture number 18 is the last lecture of this the P block element, and as we know that at presently we are continue with our topic is NCERT exemplar solutions. So in last lectures we completed up to question number 27. Now today we start with the question number 28. The +1 oxidation state in group 13 and +2 oxidation state in group 14 becomes more and more stable with increasing atomic number. So as we know that it's a simple reason is the inert pair effect. So once again on moving in group 13 and 14, lower oxidation states becomes more stable as compared to the higher oxidation states because of the inert pair effect. So in this inert pair effect, S electron of the valence shell do not participate in bonding and only p electrons, right? So only p electrons participate in the bonding. As the size of atom increases, more energy is needed by S electron to participate in bonding from valence shell. So in group 13, valence shell configuration is ns2np1, where electrons of both s and p orbitals participate. They show +3 oxidation state, but if only p electrons participate, then they show +1 oxidation state. So in group 14, valence shell configuration is ns2np2. So where electrons of both s and p orbitals participate, then +4 oxidation state, and if only p electron participate, then shows only +2 oxidation state. Next one is the question number 29, carbon and silicon. We know that both belongs to the group 14, but in spite of stoichiometric similarity, the dioxide means carbon dioxide and silicon dioxides, they differ in their structure. What's the reason behind that? The only reason behind that, first one, in CO2 we know that is a sp hybridizations, right, and then p-pi bonding, and we know that due to resonating structure, so in carbon dioxide all the CO bonds are equal in length, means 115 picometer, but in silicon dioxide it's a covalent and three-dimensional network solid in which each silicon is covalently bonded in a tetrahedral manner to 4 oxygen atoms. So each oxygen atom in turn covalently bonded to another silicon atoms as shown in the diagram. So each corner is shared with another tetrahedron. So the entire crystal may be considered as a giant molecule in which 8 member ring are formed with alternate silicon and oxygen atoms. So silicon cannot give double bond with oxygen due to large size and less electronegativity. Question number 30. If a trivalent atom replaces a few silicon atoms in a three-dimensional network of silicon dioxide, what would be the type of charge on overall structure? So once again, in SiO2, right, if a trivalent atom replaces silicon atom, then holes are created, and these holes will make a crystal conductor of electricity called the p-type conduction. And the crystal as a whole, they are electrically neutral. Fine. But in the following arrangement, when silicon atom is substituted by a trivalent atom, then there is an increase in positive charge because by approximately 1. This increase is positively charged makes the crystal conductor. Next one, when BCl3 is treated with water, its hydrolysis and forms BOH4- only, whereas AlCl3 in acidified aqueous solution forms AlH2O6+3 ion. Explain what is the hybridization of the boron and aluminium in this species. So in trivalent state, most of the compounds being covalent are hydrolyzed in water. For example, trichlorides are hydrolyzed in water to form a tetrahedral species, and the hybridization of this M is sp3. But in aluminium chloride, we know that there is a d orbital is available. So aluminium in acidified aqueous solution, they forms a octahedral because the d orbitals is involved in these hybridizations, sp3d2, and we get a means they form a AlH2O6 plus 3. Next one question is given in this manner. So aluminium dissolves in minerals acid and aqueous alkali, thus show amphoteric character. A piece of aluminium foil is treated with dilute hydrochloric acid or dilute NaOH solution in a test tube and or bringing burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube. A pop sound indicates the evolution of hydrogen gas. The same activity when performed with concentrated nitric acid, reaction does not process. Why? The simple reason, aluminium is amphoteric in nature. Definitely it reacts with acid and base to give a salt and hydrogen gas, and this hydrogen gas burns with a pop-up sound. But when aluminium reacts with a concentrated HNO3, a thin layer of Al2O3 on the surface of aluminium metal which protect for the reaction, so this is called as a protective layer. So aluminium does not react with a concentrated nitric acid. Next, explain the following. So here near about 9 explanations of the following. Number 1 is gallium has a higher ionization enthalpy than aluminium. Simple one, the ionization enthalpy values of gallium is higher than aluminium due to stability of D and F electrons, and which have screening effect to compensate the increase in the nuclear charge. Next reason is given like that. The boron does not exist as a B+3 ion. Why boron? So boron has a small size. So the sum of all the enthalpies, first ionization enthalpy, second and third, is very high. So boron does not form B+3 ion. So it gives a covalent compound. Reason number C is given like that. Aluminium forms AlF6-3 ion, but boron does not form BF6 because simple, aluminium has a vacant d orbitals and can expand the coordination number and forms AlF6-3. But on the other hand, boron does not have a d orbitals and cannot form BF6-3 and cannot expand its covalency beyond 4. So it gives only BF4-. Next is the D. PbX2 is more stable than PbX4. So Pb+4 by gaining 2 electrons changes into Pb+2, which is more stable due to inert pair effect. Sn+2 is less stable than Sn+4 by losing electrons. Therefore, Pb+4 act as an oxidizing agent while Sn+2 act as a reducing agent. Next question is F is given like that. F electro gain enthalpy of chlorine is more negative as compared to fluorine. So the size of fluorine is very small and incoming electrons feels inter-electronic repulsion. So electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative as compared to the chlorine. But this is the question is not regarding to this chapter, but it's regarding to the electron gain enthalpy or the p block elements, right? G. Tl NO3 thrice act as an oxidizing agent. Due to inert pair effect, we know that thallium is more stable in +1 oxidation state compared to the +3 oxidation state. So the tendency of +3 to +1. So definitely thallium, the tendency of thallium is to reduce and so act as a strong oxidizing agent. H. Carbon shows catenation property, but lead does not. So carbon atoms have the tendency to link with one another through covalent bonds to form chains and rings, and this properties is called as an catenation, and this is because CC bonds are very strong. If we down the group, the size is increasing and the electronegativity decreasing, so thereby tendency to show the catenation is decreasing. So this can be clearly seen from the bond enthalpies that the order of the catenation is carbon to silicon to germanium to tin, and lead does not show such a type of catenation. Next one, BF3 does not hydrolyze. Right, so BF3 does not hydrolyze completely. It forms boric acid and fluoroboric acid. Right, so this is because HF formed reacts with a H3BO3. Next one. And last one means this observation of question number 33. Why does the element silicon not form a graphite-like structure where carbon does? So we know that in the graphite, carbon is sp2 hybridized, and carbon has a tendency to form a multiple p-pi bonds due to its small size and highest electronegativity in group 14. But silicon is, due to its large size and less electronegativity, cannot form a multiple bonds. So silicon can't form a graphite-like structure. 34. Identify the compounds A, X and Z in the following reactions. So what they give: HCl, H2O, NaCl, and we have to complete the A and X. So here the borax, when reacts with hydrochloric acid and H2O, so it's converted into NaCl and boric acid. And this boric acid is further react 370 Kelvin. So we know that is HbO2, right? So our X and Z is given like that. So X to Z. Next one. Number 35. Complete the following chemical equations. Z, 3 lithium aluminum hydride. Z is BF3 naturally. It's converted into diboron because it's the preparations of diboron. And X plus H2O, Y and H2O. So boron, diboron, definitely hydrolysis with and it gives orthoboric acid. And same way, diboron when reacts with oxygen is converted into B2O3 and 3 mole of H2O. Now meshing the column. Mesh the species given in column 1 with the property mentioned in column 2. So we know that BF4 minus is having a tetrahedral shape, AlCl3 having a Lewis acid shape, SNO we know that it cannot be further oxidized, and PbO2, right? So PbO2 means the oxidation state is +4 as well as is a strong oxidizing agent. Number 37. Match the species given in column 1 with the properties in given column 2. Diboron. So properties of diboron, we know that it's having a low melting point, high boiling point, and using for measuring high temperature is the perfect for the diboron. Okay. Sorry, there is a mistake in the question. So once again, used as a catalyst in petrochemicals. No, banana bonds. So diboron having a banana bonds, right? So because we know that in the diboron structure, the boron atoms is sp3 hybridized for bonding, and out of this 4 sp3 hybridized on each boron atom, one is without an electron. So means it's called as an terminal hydrogen bond, which is a 2 center 2 electron bonds, but 2 bridge bonds are 3 center 2 electron bonds, or sometimes called as banana bonds. Gallium. We know that gallium with an unusually low melting point, near about 303 Kelvin, and could exist in liquid state during summer. So its high boiling point makes it useful material for measuring high temperature. Borax. Borax is such a type of flux for soldering metals, for heat, scratch and stain resist glaze coating to the earthen wares. D. Aluminosilicates. Zeolites is aluminosilicates and widely used as a catalyst in petrochemical industries. For example, ZSM5, which is a type of zeolite, is used to convert alcohol directly into gasoline. Quartz. We know that it's a cristobalite and tribadimite are some of the crystalline forms of the silica. Fine. Next one, number 38. Match the given in column 1 with the hybridization given in column 2. Boron in BOH4 minus, right? So boron in BOH4 minus is sp3 in nature. We know that boron is a central atom and is surrounded by 4 bonding pair. Aluminium in AlH2O6 plus 3. So here the coordination of aluminium is 6. So geometry is octahedral, is due to sp3d2 hybridization. Number 3, boron in B2H6. So each boron atoms sp3 hybridized for bonding. Out of 4 sp3 hybridized on boron atom, 1 is without an electron. Carbon in Buckminster fullerenes. So we know that in the carbon atoms, all the carbon atoms are equal and they undergo sp2 hybridizations. Fine. E. Silicon in SiO4 minus 4. The basic structure of silicates SiO4 minus 4. So it's a tetrahedral in nature. So definitely sp3 hybridizations. And germanium in GeCl6 minus 2. You know that the Coordination number is 6 because germanium is attached with the 6 chlorine, so sp3d2 hybridization. Next, assertion and reason type of question. Assertions means if aluminium atoms replace a few silicon atoms in three-dimensional network of silicon dioxide, the overall structure acquires a negative charge. No, it's not correct, because aluminium is a trivalent in nature and silicon is tetravalent in nature, right? So okay, fine, reason is perfectly, but assertions is wrong in nature. Okay, fine. Number 40. Assertions: silicons are water repelling in natures. Right? Fine. Silicons are organosilicon polymers which have R2SiO as a repeating unit. We know that both statement, assertions and reasons both are correct, but R is not the correct explanations of assertions. Right? Now, long answer type of question is the last portions of this NCERT exemplar. Describe the general trends in the following properties of an elements in group 13 and 14. So we know that in the atomic size, find ionization enthalpy. So atomic size, the element of group 13, as the atomic number increases and new electrons will be added, and so the distance between the nucleus and outermost orbit having electron increases. Anyhow, there is exceptions in atomic radius of aluminium and gallium. So the atomic radius of aluminium is 143, is more than the atomic radius of gallium. So because of there is no d orbitals in electronic configurations of aluminium, while there is a d orbital of electronic configurations of gallium. So d orbitals are large in size, hence the magnitude of screening effect decrease with nucleus by electron present in them. So now the nuclear charge of gallium is high, and results the attractions towards the nucleus by outermost electron increases. So hence atomic radius of gallium is less than that of the क्लियर फाइन. तो ये थोड़ा हमने पॉइंट, अभी तो ये पूरा हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. तो मैं आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी के बारे में बात करूं तो हमने पूरा जो लेक्चर्स है वो हमने यहाँ पे लिया हुआ है, क्योंकि ग्रुप 13 के लिए भी मुझे डिस्कस करना है और ग्रुप 14 के लिए भी मुझे डिस्कस करना है. तो ये पूरा पोर्शन हमने यहाँ पे देखा हुआ है. फिर से हम देख ले, लेकिन थोड़ा फास्ट हम यहाँ पे उसका सर्फिंग करेंगे. The order of the first ionization enthalpy for boron group is like that. We know that the first ionization enthalpy of aluminium is less than that of the boron because aluminium is the new valence cell is added. So the atomic size of aluminium is increased with in turn increase of screening effect in aluminium. So it results in decreasing attractive force towards the nucleus by the outermost orbital electrons. So the first ionization energy or enthalpy is less than that of the boron, but the first ionization enthalpy of gallium is little more compared to aluminium because in gallium the addition of new valence cell and also presence of 3d orbitals which decrease the screening effect. So it doesn't mean that here what they say is that this means doesn't remain more effective. So gallium in the attractive force of electron towards the nucleus increases, hence the first ionization enthalpy is little more. In the same way, indium possesses 4d orbitals and which reduce the magnitude of screening effect and increasing nuclear charge, which is overweighing the screening effect and increasing nuclear charge, right? So which is overweighing the screening effect towards nucleus by the electron arranged in outermost orbit is less compared to the gallium. So hence the first ionization enthalpy of indium is less compared to that of gallium. Now we talk about the first ionization enthalpy of thallium is higher than that of the indium because thallium has the nuclear charge increasing 32 units and also presence of 4f and 5d orbitals. Still the decreasing reactivity of screening effect is overweighted by the nuclear charge. So as a result, force of attractions towards nucleus by the outermost orbit electron increases. So the first ionization enthalpy is increasing. C point is metallic character, as we know that the elements of group 13 shows variations in metallic character. Aluminium metallic character of higher in aluminium compared to the boron. Aluminium is a very good conductor of heat and electricity. And the reduction potential values go on increasing from aluminium to thallium. So the values of electropositivity is decreases as a result and metallic character decreases. We know that boron is non-metal, aluminium is a metal, and indium, gallium and thallium all are having a metallic characteristics decrease successively. So thallium possesses a non-metallic character. It's a wrong one. Here boron is non-metal, aluminium is metal, indium, gallium and thallium, the metallic character increases. Right? Successively. So thallium is possesses a metallic character. It's a good metallic character. Oxidation state. In the electronic configurations of elements of group 13, they have 2 electrons in S type orbital and 1 in P type of orbital. So mostly in their outermost orbit 3 electrons, so +3 oxidation state. But the oxidation state of boron and aluminium is +3, while gallium, indium and thallium having a 1 and 3 respectively. But atomic number is increasing by stability of +3 oxidation state decrease and stability of +1 oxidation state is increase, because on going down the group, the atomic number increases the tendency of the S electrons to participate in bond formation, which means NS2 electron of gallium, indium and thallium remains paired because of intervening of D and F orbitals. So the screening effect of NS2 orbitals become poor and inert pair effect becomes more predominant at atomic number increases. So NS2 orbital electrons are more strongly attracted towards the nucleus. So it's difficult to remove the electron. So the stability of +1 increase and +3 is decrease. Nature of halide. We know that these elements reacts with a halogen to form a trihalides. So halides of boron, aluminium, they are the electron deficient and act as a Lewis acid. And this Lewis acidic character of halides of boron decrease in the following order. Group 14, atomic size. In group 14, atomic radius is referred as a covalent radius. So it's considerable increase in covalent radius from carbon to silicon. So same way, silicon to lead, a small increase in radius is observed. And all this due to the presence of completely filled D and F orbital in heavier members due to screening effect. Ionization enthalpy. On moving down in the group 14, the atomic number increases the order of change one notice in ionization enthalpy in this order. From carbon to tin, the atomic number increase, so the atomic size is increased, so ionization enthalpy decrease. But instead of decreasing, the ionization enthalpy of lead is slightly increased because of the intervening of D and F, both type of orbitals in electronic configuration of lead. So the force of attractions towards the nucleus increases due to poor shielding of that orbital, and hence ionization enthalpy decreases. Metallic character in group 14, as we move down, metallic character is increasing. Carbon is 100% non-metal, silicon, germanium, they are metalloids, and tin and lead are metals. Oxidation state, common oxidation state of this family is +4 and +2. But we know that the sum of the first 4 ionization enthalpy is very high. So compound in +4 oxidation state are generally covalent in nature. Okay, in heavier members, the tendency to show a +2 oxidation state increase in the sequence germanium to tin to lead is due to the inert pair effect. So the relative stability of these 2 oxidation states vary down the group. Carbon and silicon mostly show +4 oxidation state, and germanium forms stable compounds in +4 state and only a few compounds in +2 states. Next is nature of halides. These elements can form halides of MX2 and MX4 except carbon. All other members are react directly with halogens under suitable conditions to make halides. Most of the compounds MX4 are covalent in nature because sp3 hybridizations tetrahedral in shape except SNF4 and PbF4, which are ionic in nature. PbI4 does not exist because Pbi, greater the cationic power, and same way iodine, the size is quite greater in nature. So Pbi bond initially formed during these reactions does not release enough energy to unpair 2 electrons and excite them to higher orbital to have a 4 unpaired electrons around lead atoms. So heavier members from germanium to lead are able to make halides of Mx2. Next question 42. Account for the following observations. AlCl3 is a Lewis acid. We know that AlCl3, the octet of aluminium is incomplete because 6 electrons, they accept the electrons, an electron accepted the Lewis acid. And same way in the case of, so this is the first one, right? Number 2 reason is true. Fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, yet BF3 is a weaker Lewis acid than Cl3. The reason behind that, the BF3 boron has a vacant 2p orbital and fluorine has the one of the 2p orbital completely filled and unutilized. So both have same energy, can overlap p-pi bond. While such a type of bonding is not possible in BCl3 because there is no effective overlapping between 2p of boron and 3p of chlorine. So electron deficiency of boron is higher than that of BF3. So BF3 is a weaker Lewis acid. C is PbO2 is a stronger oxidizing agent than SnO2. So we know that in PbO2 and SnO2 both lead and the tin are present in +4 oxidation state due to stronger inert pair effect. So Pb+2 is more stable than Sn+2 and PbO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. D. The +1 oxidation state of thallium is more stable than its +3. We know that repeatedly this type of the questions may be asked 5 or 6 times either in the NCERT exemplar or in exercise or in text solved questions and theoretical portions. We know that the simple one Tl+1 is more stable than Tl+3 due to inert pair effect. Number 43. When aqueous solution of borax is acidified with HCl, a white crystalline solid is formed which is soapy in touch. We know that it's a boric acid. And is the solid or solid acidic or basic in nature? We know that boric acid is a weak monobasic acid because it is not a protonic acid but acts as a Lewis acid by accepting an electron from water, right? 3 pairs of compounds are given below. Identify the compound in each of the pair which has group 13 elements is more stable oxidation state. We know that in the TlCl3, though this +1 due to inert pair effect, in this AlCl3 and in this INCl is more stable because +1 oxidation state is more stable compared to the +3 due to inert pair effect. Next question, BCl3 exists as a monomer where AlCl3 dimerized through halogen bridging. Give explanation. We know that BCl3 does not dimerize because it's small size. So BCl3 do not exist as a dimer, but boron cannot accommodate 4 large size chlorine ions. But AlCl3 exists as a dimer in which aluminium is use their vacant d orbitals by coordinations with a chlorine to complete their octet by forming dimer. Clear? Number 46. Boron fluoride exists as a BF3 but boron hydride doesn't exist as a BH3. We know that in BF3 a lone pair of fluorine gives a back support of electrons to boron atom by p-pi back bonding. So this delocalization of electrons reduce the deficiency of electron and thus reduce Lewis acidic character and increase the stability of BF3. But in BH3 there is no lone pair of electrons on hydrogen atom, so therefore BH3 dimerized is converted into B2H6. So 4 terminal hydrogen, 2 boron atoms lying in a same plane, means one plane and above and below the plane. Okay. Next one, what are silicons? State the uses of silicons. We know that the silicons are the organosilicon polymers. R2SiO is a repeating unit and the starting material for the manufacture of silicons are alkyl or aryl substituted silicon chloride, right? And uses, they are used as a what are the uses, right? So uses, they are used as a sealant, greases and electrical insulator. For waterproofing of fabrics being biocompatible, they are also used in surgical and cosmetic plants. Then what are boranes, and give chemical reactions for the preparations of diboranes. So boranes are the binary compounds of boron hydrogen like in alkane. So these are the covalent hydrides of B2H6 type. So preparations of diborane is prepared by treating boron trifluoride BF3 with lithium aluminium hydride in diethyl ether, and B2H6 is produced on industrial scale by the reactions of boron trifluoride with sodium hydride too. Next question 48. A compound A of boron reacts with NMe3. We know that the compound boron reacts with NMe3, so which gives a compound may be possible is because NMe3 means nitrogen having a lone pair, so definitely it's a Lewis acid, and B on hydrolysis gives C, NH2 gas, so therefore A compound is B2H6, B is a adducted product is BH3, NMe3, and C is the boric acid. Next, a non-metallic element of group 13, non-metallic, alright, so non-metallic in group 13 is boron. Used in making bulletproof vest in extremely hard solids of black color. It can exist in many allotropic forms and has unusually high melting point. Okay, its trifluoride acts as a Lewis acid towards ammonia, and the element exhibits maximum covalency of 4. So identify the element. Definitely the element is boron, and write the equations of this trifluoride BF3NH3. We know that the BF3 having a vacant orbital because they does not satisfy the octet rule. So lone pair of nitrogen, they donate towards to the BF3. And last questions of this P block elements in this NCERT exemplar. A tetravalent element forms a monoxide and dioxide with oxygen when air is passed over a heating element. Alright, so we know that it's a producer gas is a octane, and monoxide of the element is a powerful reducing agent, so it's carbon monoxide. So identify the elements. Carbon monoxide and nitrogen is a producer gas. We know that the carbon monoxide is a strong reducing agent, and we gave the reactions of Fe2O3 with CO2, so it's converted into FeNCO2. So this is all for the P block elements. So now we completed these P block elements. Thank you very much.